Innovate, accelerate, move technology forward. The startup revolution is now.
All right. Welcome everyone to Collab Asia's live stream in the Philippine Startup Week 2022. This is our first time being in this event, and we are very excited to share with you the topic of today's live stream, the age of social media content creators. I am Naz. I will be your moderator for today. And for us to get the full 360 view of social media, we've gathered experts in the field and, of course, social media influencers who are a part of Collab Asia. Proceeding with our introduction of panelists, let's first check in with our lifestyle content creator, Ivan de Guzman. Ivan, are you here?
Yes, I'm here po. Hello, Miss Naz.
Hi, Ivan! Hi, how are you? Okay naman ba
I'm doing
dyan?
great. Yeah. Ayun,
Are you
stress sa
excited?
content.
Are you excited with our discussion for later?
Yes, actually, excited din akong matuto pa kasi kayo guys, mga expert kayo. So, meron kayong mga alam na hindi ko pa alam. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Fantastic. All right, thank you, Ivan. Let's move forward with another content creator of Collab Asia, Tony Banks. Tony Banks, are you here?
Hello!
Hi, grabe ang energy ni Tony Banks. Malapit kasi ang mic. Hi, Tony Banks. Kamusta ka naman?
Okay naman po, medyo kinakabahan na yun. So, share ko po yung experience ko
Nice.
para
Thank
may
you, Tony
matutunan kayong
Banks.
iba.
Of course, of course. Moving forward to our Collab Asia peeps, let's first call on our amazing Yves Bondok, Senior Gaming Lead. Yves, nandito ka ba?
Hi, hi guys. Hi, Nas. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. So yeah, my name is Ives. I'm the senior lead for gaming here at Collab Asia for Indonesia, Malaysia, and Philippines.
Mhm.
Amazing. Thank you, Yves. Moving forward to our Managing Director for the Philippines, Sir Patrick Pulumbarit. Sir Pat, are you here?
Hey, what up, guys? How are you doing? Excited for this. Looking forward uh, to this panel and talking about social media content and creators of what's happening today.
All right. Thank you, Sir Pat. And last but not the least, we are saving the very best for our last. Of course, our CEO of Collab Asia, Mr. Eugene Choi. Eugene, are you here? Oh, you're on mute, Eugene.
Of course, I was on mute. Yeah, no, I am here. I wish I was actually physically in the Philippines with you all, but yeah, I'm actually here broadcasting live from Korea, South Korea.
Wow, thank you so much, Eugene, for joining us in this live stream. So now that we've introduced all our panelists, I would like to give the floor to Collab Asia CEO Eugene Choi to give us a background of what Collab Asia is and what the creator business is looking like in Southeast Asia. Take it away.
Yeah, so hi. As Nas mentioned, I am the CEO of Collab Asia. We are actually a uniquely positioned startup here in Asia because we actually spun off out of a company from the USA called Collab. So that's where we could trace our roots to. And then we began opening up offices in Korea and Japan. And then we started expanding to Southeast Asia around 2018 is when we opened up offices in Indonesia and Philippines. The reason why I mentioned kind of that back history and background is I think it puts us in a unique position to be able to kind of compare and contrast what's going on in the different markets. Because when it comes to the YouTube platform, when it comes to the creator economy and kind of that culture that goes along with it, the basics are the same, but I think how it plays out in every market is a little bit different. And we've definitely seen a lot of interesting and exciting things happen in Southeast Asia. I think the first things that come to mind is the fact that the reasons for us to actually expand into Southeast Asia was because we kept hearing from YouTube and from other companies that Southeast Asia is one of the fastest growing markets when it comes to just creators and even the creator economy, and actually specifically to the YouTube platform itself. And that's no surprise given the fact that Southeast Asia has one of the youngest populations. I think by some metrics, you see over 60% of the population is under the age of 30, right? And we see that in a lot of the major countries within Southeast Asia. So that just makes things kind of ripe for things like the creator economy and YouTube to really start to take off. And for us as well, as I mentioned, we started opening up offices and operations here in 2018, and we've seen tremendous growth in the last couple of years.
Thank you, Eugene, for that. I would have to agree with you that Southeast Asia is indeed booming in this year. Before we start with our discussions with our panelists, we will also be having a raffle later. So if you'd like to join, please register your name on the form in the chat box. Someone in the chat box is sending out the forms. So if you want to win some swag, some goodies, please do register. Click on the link below, as most of our influencers would say. All right, let's start with our first topic. So, the first question in our discussion is to describe social media today. Now, I know a bunch of us came from different generations. I came from the generation of Friendster. I think Patrick and Eugene came from, I don't know, 4chan. I'm not sure. And most of our content creators came from TikTok. There's such many social media platforms right now. So let's start first with Ives. So Ives, can you describe social media today?
Yeah, hi Nas. So yeah, just like you, I started with Friendster, right? But as of now, I do think that social media is actually as of now is actually exaggerated for the better or for the worse, right? Because like 10 to 15 years ago, like Friendster is only a way to like add friends, see pictures, and there was no direct message, right? But right now, the social media like Facebook, even LinkedIn, Instagram, and others, you can really like see the news, see what's like happening right now, right? Not just in the Philippines but in other countries as well. So it can be it can be like for any topic actually, not just like your local news, but it can be for gaming, anime. So that's why I'm saying that it's exag at the same time, because there are a lot of fake news that you can like spread easily, and a lot of those are actually well, it's really bad since it's fake news, but that's how that is how exag social media is right now, is that it's easy to get info, but it's easy to get fooled fooled as well. Yeah, I think
That's true.
that's it. Yeah, that's for me.
That's true. Thank you, Ives. And before we move on forward with our panelists, let me introduce the very best, of course. And of course, it's the last introduction, Mr. Chester La Paz. Hi, Chester. Are you here?
Hello po, sorry nag-run out. Ngayon lang
No
bumalik yung
problem,
ano.
no problem. Ganun talaga kapag mga sikat na, nagba-brown out na lang, ganun. Charot. But yeah, so Chester, we were just talking about describing social media today. Since you're a part of the generation of, TikTok content creators, how is social media for you currently?
Social media in this generation po is actually surprising, but in a good and bad ways po. We cannot deny po that social media really removes our stress. Pero sa nakikita kong problema ngayon po, parang pabata ang influence ng social media, which is alarming. And thinking that some social media contents are really disturbing and inappropriate po for children. Yun po yung first.
I see, I see, and that's true. And just to give like a bit of contrast with TikTok social media influencers, let's move on forward with Sir Patrick. Sir Pat, how was social media for you, and how did you sort of discover it in your time?
Oh wow, how is social media for me, huh? Um, well, okay, my background is actually entertainment and marketing and a lot of business development and I so you can imagine when I started there was no social media yet. In fact, social media back then um, I mean, you go to, no, not even social media. Our media back then is you go to a telephone, you dial the phone and you call. So and then it evolved to through cell phones. Then text messaging came in. Uh, and then all of a sudden the world changed. When social media entered the world, I think it gave more freedom of speech to a lot of people, which gave um, power to actually the normal people. Because like back then, when you talk about media, you talk about news, you talk about newspaper, and the power is actually, I mean, they're the ones who's control. I mean, I wouldn't say really controlling, but they are the ones who people listen to. But if you look at it now, you compare it. I mean, news networks versus content creators versus normal people. You'll see views. I mean, a lot of people listen to normal people. I guess like same thing with me. Um, a lot of times when I check the news, for example, I check news from normal people, like saying, okay, this is what's happening in my place, and then you hear it from the news, a more scripted one. But pretty much that's it. It gave power to the people. It gave more freedom, and people are more aware about what's happening.
That's true. That's true, and I agree. And let's ask our viewers if they do agree. So, viewers, just comment your reactions on what Patrick said. Did you also agree that social media has given freedom of expression to more and more people? Now, moving forward with our next panelist, Mr. Eugene Choi, can you describe social media for you as someone who has worked with social media for so long?
Yeah, and Naz, you make it sound like I'm like 100 years old. I'm actually not that old. But yeah, I mean, Patrick and I, we are around the same age. But I would say it this way. I think, you know, we are myself has been in a very unique position to see kind of the evolution of media and kind of the emergence of social media. So back in my day, right, it was pagers and it was phones, like Patrick mentioned. Um, it was around the time in the early 2000s. I remember Friendster as well. I'm surprised that actually you were on Friendster. But around that time, there was also blogging platforms like Blogger and Zanga, things like that. But I grew up in California, so maybe we had different platforms. But from Friendster to MySpace, and then I remember still on Facebook, I had to get my college intern in 2005 or something to invite me via my college email address. So I have seen kind of the progression and evolution, and I think what's really interesting right now is we are definitely at a point in time where we are starting to see a huge shift of not only how the social media platforms are shifting and trying to shift towards Web3 or whatever the next iteration is, but also how governments and kind of countries and societies are responding and treating social media, right? I think for a long time, people didn't really, I guess, acknowledge it as much. But then when you see the issue with fake news and you see the impact it has on political systems and things like the Arab Spring in the Middle East, you know I think people finally are recognizing that social media does have a lot of power, right? So right now we are kind of at, I think, an interesting crossroads where you see the platforms trying to change and iterate to the next evolution of their platform. We're also seeing countries and governments kind of trying to create policies around it. And we're also seeing just, at the same time, we're seeing a lot of young people who have just literally grown up with social media as if it's a part of their daily life. And I think all of these forces are coming together, and the next couple years are going to prove to be quite interesting.
That's true. That's true, Eugene. And now we're gonna move forward with our content creators, Ivan de Guzman and Boss Tony. So, can you describe on your end social media for you? Let's start with Ivan first.
For me po, social media is a powerful form of communication talaga with significant of influence ngayon kasi lahat ng mga tao nagre-rely na sa social media, both urban and rural settings. I believe that social media also can be a strong catalyst for progressive social change. Kasi nakikita naman natin ngayon sa Twitter, sa Facebook, kahit sa mga websites like change.org, napakadaming mga nangyayaring movement to raise social issues, ganun. And transforming viewpoints, empowering individuals, and of course, developing dialogue. And for me, itong social media din ay binibigyan din ng platform ang mga individuals like us to mobilize ourselves.
Right. Thank you, Ivan. Moving on to Boss Tony.
Hello po. Ayun po, like everyone said po na yung social media po is very powerful kasi po lahat po nandiyan na, lahat ng ginagawa ng tao, lahat balita nandiyan. So everything po nasa social media na ngayon kaya very powerful po niyan.
That's true. That's true. And this is a good segue actually to our second topic, the difference between traditional and social media. Because before we didn't have, we didn't have Google. We just go and ask people around if we have any questions. But for our people in Collab Asia, can you describe to us the difference between traditional and social media? I know Sir Patrick has worked in ABS, and can you give us some insights on how the transition was?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll put this in. I'll give an example when it comes to entertainment, which actually it affected a lot. Like um, when we talk about entertainment, let's talk about music, for example. Bands, artists who create songs back then, for you to be heard, you have to be played on radio. And once you get played on radio, it's actually a big thing already. You're like, yay, I'm played on radio. And then once they play you on radio, it's only in that area. You can only be heard in that area. Imagine the power of social media now. I mean, the difference between then and now. When you create music and you put it out there, millions of people hear you right away. I mean, not just in your area, not just in your country, but across the globe. um, Big difference. And traditional media takes time. um, New media now, social media, or whatever we call it in the future, is fast and instant. It's out right there and then. People hear it, people see it. When you announce something, uh, b- before you wait for, I don't know, let's say a newspaper, right? You wait for it to be published. Now you don't need to wait for a few hours or days for it to be published and get picked, and for people to pick it up. You just put it there, see it. Like what I mentioned earlier, it gave uh, power to the people, for them to be heard right away. For artists, for creators, especially for creators. Um, a lot of I've been talking to a lot of celebrities who were in the who's in the show business. Uh, Before, you need to be part of a big network for you to be popular. And uh, if you look at our creators, like say Chester, Tony Banks, Ivan, they don't need to be part of a big TV network. It's actually social media helped them. Of course, we're happy that they're part of our of Collab Asia, and somehow uh, it it helped. It kind of gave power to businesses like Collab Asia as well, to boost people, to boost creators, and to help aspiring, even actors and actresses, to be heard and to be seen out there.
That's true. That's true. Thank you, Sir Pat. I also have like a bit of an insight. For example, for celebrity content creators, talking to a live audience is different with talking to a camera. like with vlogging. Vlogging at first was kind of like awkward, but now it's like everyone is doing it. I can vlog, you can vlog, everyone can vlog. So let me give this question to Sir Eugene. So Eugene, do you have like any insights for celebrity content creators, or for those content creators who are traditionally familiar with social media, to branch out to say TikTok and transform their content to short form video content?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing that a lot in every country, right? You see these traditional celebrities, whether it's TV, film, music, they all want to be, ironically, they all want to be YouTubers, and then YouTubers want to be musicians and want to be actors, right? I think a couple things that I've noticed is a lot of these celebrities, maybe some of them might have a more challenging time transitioning, right? Because they're used to having a TV studio, they're used to having a team of people around them filming everything, editing everything. Whereas the content creators that we work with and the creators that we are seeing, they really started from scratch on their own, and they have full creative control and full control over everything that they do. So it has been challenging for some traditional celebrities to make that shift to social media platforms, to become a social media star. I think in the future, maybe that will start to change, just because when you see the trends now, it's actually becoming easier and easier to become a creator and an influencer, right? That's why TikTok is so popular. That's why YouTube Shorts is so popular, because when it comes to short form content, all you need is your cell phone. So it is becoming easier to create content and to become a creator. Even things like podcasting, right? You just need to call your friend, your celebrity friend, sit around for an hour and record people talking for an hour. So we're seeing a lot of these new trends and platforms from other parts of the world, from all over the world, really emerge to make it easier and easier for anyone and everyone to become a creator, right? And when that happens, you have more creators, and then it's more competitive. Yes, and then I think it might provide an opportunity for celebrities to then, maybe stand out amongst the crowd. But with that said, I would say the native social media creators that we work with and the ones that we discover on these platforms, I feel like they're kind of a unique new generation of influencer and celebrity, because they were just naturally and natively born from the platforms where now all the content is being consumed.
That's true. That's true. And I'd have to mention that, like, for example, most of the content that we see now, if we saw it like years before, it'd be like amazing, because the tools that we've had before we didn't have. But like with TikTok, you can just open your app and you can just shoot immediately, and it's been amazing seeing the content all over. And TikTok has evolved into something else, and also with YouTube and Facebook, it's like a different evolution of social media platforms. Now, moving forward to our third topic, this is for our content creators, Ivan, Bostoni, and Chester. So, guys, since you are influencers, and of course, as influencers, you hold an influence to a certain, a certain market, to a certain audience, to your followers. What are the challenges, and how do you handle the bashing and cancel culture? How do you use your influence as a content creator? Let's start first with Boss Tony.
Ayan, hello po. Ayan, so number one po, para ma-handle ko po yung mga bash sa akin, be humble lang po. Yun lang po yung susi. Kasi kapag pinatulan mo po yung mga bash, kasi ikaw po yung i-judge nila eh. Kumbaga, magbabago yung tingin sa'yo ng mga tao. Bali, ang
Totoo.
mangyayari, hindi nila alam yung buong istorya ng buhay ko. Kaya, ganun na lang po sila mag-judge sa'yo. Ayan, so, be humble lang po. Yun lang.
Totoo, totoo.
Mm-mm.
Kamusta naman yung paggamit mo ng influence mo on your platform? Do you use it to spread positivity, or what message you want to get across?
Ayun, so, ulit po, sorry po, kinakabahan ako.
Ano yung parang, ano
First
yung
time
gusto
ko
mo
lang po kasing
iparating?
mag-talk ng ganito.
Okay
It's my
lang, okay
first
lang.
time.
Walang
Sorry guys,
problema.
it's my first time.
Walang
Ayan, so,
problema. Ano
patanong
yung
nga,
gusto mong, ano yung gusto mong iparating sa sa mga audience mo ba? Ano yung gusto mong message? Gusto mo ba masaya sila? Ganun.
Ayan, so ano lang kapagka kung gusto niyo yung ginagawa ko, gawin niyo lang po ng tama, 'wag lang po sasablay yung mga ginagawa niyo kasi pangit po yun.
Tama, tama yan.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward tayo kay Ivan. So, Ivan, same question.
Ano po, Miss Nas, kasi 2 years ago, noon ako nag-full-time talagang content creator. Kasi dati, ang hirap nung wala pang pandemic. So, during the past 2 years po of my experience in content creation, hindi ako naka-receive talaga ng great deal or great amount of bashing. Kasi ang content ko, if you guys will see or will look, informative videos, educational videos, ganyan. Kaya parang hindi siya pasok dun sa mga kabash-bash. Then I only remember one thing, which was when I posted a video of me with my friends duetting my other friend's TikTok video and acting as if he had a foul breath or bad breath, parang ganon. And in that situation, sa short amount of span na parang 1 hour, yung video na yon nag-receive siya agad ng 100,000 views in just 1 hour and thousand of comments. So, after na, nag-agree ako and my friends to delete it. So, yung realization ko doon is, tulad ng sabi ni Boss Tony, hindi nila alam talaga yung story, yung parang ganon. So, after that, medyo naging, ano na din ako, naging, kapag kunyari magpo-post ako ng mga content online, pag-iisipan kong mabuti. Like, kahit friends kami nung isang content creator na yon, iba pa rin yung magiging nung mga tao. Parang, kumbaga, hindi nila alam na kapag behind the camera o off cam ay parang talagang ganun kami mag-asaran, ganyan. So, yun lang naman yung parang bashing na na-experience ko, which is hindi ko na talaga siya gagawin. Talagang mag-focus na lang ako sa niche ko, sa content ko, kung saan ako nakilala, and tama yung mga advice na binibigay sa akin tulad ni Miss Mariel na parang always be careful, parang ganyan. So, yun yung ginagawa ko na ngayon and gagawin ko pa sa mga susunod pa ng taon.
Okay, salamat Ivan. Punta naman tayo kay Chester. So Chester, same question. Na bash ka na ba? Na-experience mo ba na yung cancel culture at paano mo to na-handle?
To be honest po, sobrang nakaka-pressure yung cancel culture. Like, sobrang nakakatakot kasi iba na yung nagagawa ng mga tao through social media ngayon. Yung pababash naman po, di talaga siya maiiwasan. And di ko talaga siya hinahandle kasi no matter how good you are, someone is always going to be against you. Pero kung gano'n naman nakarami, we need to reflect to ourselves kung bakit nga ba tayo binabash. Kasi baka minsan tayo talaga yung mali and then parang in denial lang tayo. Pero syempre as an influencer po, need natin mag-adjust sa changes. And let this be a lesson po para maging mas sensitive tayo and to be more careful in posting contents. And by this po, mas may inspire ko yung viewers ko without hurting someone or them being unbothered. Or like bothered, sorry.
Tama. Thank you, Chester. So, another question for our influencers. Paano nyo ginagamit yung influence nyo sa audience nyo? What message do you want to send to them? Kahit sino pwede sumagot. Nagkakahiyaan pa. Si Boss Tony parang nagsasalita pero nakamute. Okay na daw. Ivan, do you have anything more to add?
Ano po uli yung question natin, ma'am?
Yung question is, paano nyo ginagamit yung influence nyo sa market na meron kayo?
Okay. Kasi ma'am, ako, ang tulad ng sabi ko sa inyo, yung content ko, mga instructive, informative, educational, ganyan. So, ang pag-handle ko doon is, itutuloy ko lang yung goal ko, yung mission ko, and yung vision ko na mag-educate ng tao and mag-share ng useful websites and applications sa mga viewers ko, which I find beneficial for them, for everyone. And yun, kaya natutuwa din ako kasi aside from that is nagkakaroon din ako ng feedback from my viewers, even mga OFW nagme-message sa akin. So, tingin ko naman okay naman yung influence na naipapakita ko sa kanila, and yung feedback talaga yung nagmamatter sa akin. And if may criticism or merong mga constructive criticism na binibigay sa akin sa direct messages, I will act naman and I will take it seriously.
Nice. Thank you so much, Ivan. So,
Mm-mm.
moving on to our fourth topic, and this is for our Collab Asia peeps. What do you think is the role of talent management, like Collab Asia, like MCNs? What do you think MCNs can contribute more to the creator economy? So, any one of you guys, Eugene, Patrick, and Ives, can answer this. Okay, sir.
Um, excuse me. So, the role of talent of having I mean, a management or talent agency backing you is actually very important. Simply because s- there's a group or someone represents you. Um, I mean, you guys, for example, Tony Banks, again, Chester and Ivan. You guys are actually you guys are artists. You are the artists of this generation. You know, people might say that, yeah, you guys just do blogging or gaming or whatever, but think about it, it's not that easy. And when it comes to the business side, it's always good for someone to help you with it, guide you with it, not just with content, not just with the stuff that, but with you, but most especially on the business side, creating the contracts, talking to brands. It's already hard. I mean, and then takes a lot of time when you guys think about your content and shoot it. What more when you do a lot of the behind the scene work. I think that's where we come in. We help you develop. We help you uh, find these deals, and we help you. And somehow we represent you um, to find certain stuff or certain deals, or talk to maybe events and help you uh, create and close them.
Thank you, Sir Patrick. Anything to add, Eugene and Ives?
Yeah, I would just say that, companies like ours, Collab Asia, we're in a very unique position because at the end of the day, we have a creators first mentality, right? And just given the nature of our relationship with our creators, it's a win-win, right? When we help them maximize their monetization opportunities, that's how we also make money and win, right? But apart from that, we also provide a lot of value to the platforms that we're partnered with, right? YouTube turns to us to help them manage the millions of creators that are on their platform and all the copyright issues and the things that you may find on the platform. We actually help YouTube and the other platforms as well. We also are provide solutions to brands and ad agencies because they want to reach the audiences of the creators in our network, right? So we're in a very unique situation where we work with and help creators, platforms, and brands, and really try to help align the interests and create a win-win situation for everyone. And so, given the nature of our industry and the creator economy, I mean, it's changing so fast, faster than probably any other industry out there. There's new platforms coming out, there's new phones coming out, new technology coming out. Like, who can keep up? I mean, it's even tough for us with all of our employees and our resources to keep up. But with creators, if they're doing that by themselves and they're focused on their own channel, it's tough for them to keep up with the trends and everything that's going on. So I feel like as the industry continues to develop and mature, there's going to be more things for companies like us, whether it's an MCN or a management company, more things for us to do to help our creators, and also by extension help the platforms and the brands just keep up with everything that's evolving and changing.
Thank you, Eugene. Anything to add, Ives?
So since I've been managing like gaming creators for 4 years, I do think that creators big or small are still like having their problems on their YouTube, right? It's something that actually creators who just uploads content, because I know a lot of creators who uploads content but doesn't know the do's and don't of YouTube. So I do believe that it's our job as a talent management to help creators show them what they need to do and what not to do, right? Because at the end of the day, take advantage of your MCN, right? We have benefits that can help your channel grow, make more money, and at the same time, of course, have more brand deals. Since you guys are our creators, I'm pretty sure that majority of our talent managers explained the benefits of Collab Asia, right? If I were you, you need to talk to them again. Creators need to talk to their talent management and ask the manager to explain what are the benefits of joining in an MCN, right? Because we have lots of how should I say this? We have lots of things to do in order to help you grow your channel and basically generate more money. So yeah, I think that's what's happening right now because a lot of creators are just not like fully taking advantage of their MCN, and I do think that's like really important because there are a lot of creators out there, but they just join an MCN and they do not care. They just join and nothing, right? Because we try to reach. I mean, as a manager, I try to reach a lot of content creators, but there's so much content creators that I can't really like monitor all of the creators that need help, especially the small ones. So for me, if ever you think that there's like this manager's like not you're not really like in contact, you should go forward and message him or her, right? Because as I told you guys, we are here to help you, and we are here to serve and basically help you with our benefits for your channel.
Right. Thank you so much, Ives. And from the point of view of the content creators, may we ask Chester? So, Chester, what do you think is the role of the MCN in your content creation career? And for example, you're in Collab Asia. What are the many ways that Collab Asia has helped you?
Um, For me po, I'm sorry. The role po is very important kasi for me, hindi lang sila manager lang. Like for me po, they're family kasi po without them, hindi po ako mag-grow as a content creator. And super laking tulong nila with regards to posting contents and sa pag-handle ng brands po. Yun.
Thank you, Chester. And thank you so much, guys, for the insight. Now, to conclude this discussion, our last topic is the future of content creation, very general from the perspective of Collab Asia and from the perspective of our content creators. What do you think is the future of content creation? Start tayo ulit kay Ivan.
Ang ano po, for me, sa point of view ko, yung future ng content creation talaga is very bright. Despite the intense competition, the industry is expanding at a faster rate talaga kasi nakikita naman natin na as we can see nowadays, brands, companies, and even celebrities are entering the online content creation market tulad ng sabi ni Sir Patrick. And yung demand talaga ng content creation will continue to grow rapidly. For me, yun yung pinaniniwalaan ko. Kasi ngayon, nung pandemic, nung nagsisimula pa lang, ako kasi as TikToker, nakikita ko talaga yung pag-evolve. Like, nung 2020, ngayon 2022, nung 2020, wala akong nakikita dong mga ads, wala akong nakikita dong mga sponsored videos. Pero ngayon, meron akong nakikita na talagang nagtitiwala na talaga yung mga companies, yung brands, and sila, hindi lang sila sa platform nagtitiwala, kundi pati na rin sa mga content creators. Kaya for me, hindi lang yung content creation yung may future talaga na sobra, pati mga content creators. Like, sabi ko kanina, pati celebrities, pinapasok na rin to. Kaya, yun.
Tama. Thank you, Ivan. Punta naman kay Boss Tony. Boss Tony, ano sa tingin mo ang future ng content creation?
Ayan na. So, ayun nga, content creation po sa future po. Parang nagiging, ano ba tawag dito? Challenging po sa akin yung pag-create po ng content sa bawat creators po ng, ng mga gumagawa po ng content. Kasi napakahirap po eh. So, future content ang magiging, shit. Sorry, nahirapan ako.
Kaya mo yan. Kaya mo yan. You can do
Ayun.
it.
Pwede pass ba?
Okay, sige. Move forward tayo kay Chester. So, Chess, ano sa tingin mo ang future ng content creation? Okay lang mag-Tagalog.
Since marami ng parami yung mga, I mean po, since marami ng parami yung mga influencers ngayon, Tingin ko po, mas dadami yung audience, and of course po, this will help unemployed people to be inspired from our content creators na mag-start din ng more creative contents, and sobrang daming creative contents today, and I'm sure it will be more creative in the future. But with this increase po, I hope some content creators will be more educated in this generation para mas maging healthy yung social media in the future.
All right. Thank you, influencers. Moving forward to Collab Asia Peeps. Ives, future of content creation.
Yeah, I think for me it's gonna be on the gaming side of future para sa of course content creation and gaming. But at this maybe after, I mean, for me gaming will still grow, right? Gaming is already big right now, but in the near future, like 10 years from now, I'm expecting na a lot of it is gonna be around like VR related content. Because I mean, like I think that was 3 years ago, 2 years ago. A lot of companies tried. Like VR is a thing now, but it's not super big. But I do know that a lot of like companies like Meta are trying to incorporate like VR contents, VR games, etc. So for me, at least I think that 10 years from now, VR will be more affordable. I think that's one of the things that made VR not super popular because it's expensive, right? So just like any other like devices that's around before, like computers before was super expensive, right? But now VR as of now is super expensive. So I do think that if ever like 10 years from now, VR is a thing. I think there will be like VR that's like super affordable that you can connect through your PC or to your phone, right? So yeah, for me, we can't really predict what kind of content will be in the future, but what I know is that for gaming, it will grow and grow, just like every year.
Thank you, Ives. Next one, Sir Pat.
Um, hmm. You know what? Um, because of the technology, I I I believe it's gonna be interactive. Both creators and their followers or their subscribers will be interacting um, like in a different way. It's probably it can be something like in real life already, like what Yves mentioned, something we are we honestly we don't know yet, but it's gonna be some kind of a wave that's just gonna hit us, like what happened. Like, let's face it, the pandemic gave a lot of boost to the to the creators and to social media. It boomed businesses. It created more opportunities to a lot of people. Wherein back then we weren't really paying attention to it that much. Um, it's gonna be there's gonna be another wave that I think that's gonna weed out the ones that's who's just there because of the hype, um and then it's gonna create something new, and then yeah, I think it's gonna be very interactive.
Great. Thank you, Sir Patrick. And lastly, to conclude this discussion, Sir Eugene Choi, the future of content creation from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, just to add on to what, everyone else said and what I was kind of mentioning before, I think in the next couple of years, we are going to see it become even easier to create content and even easier to become a creator. And we already see evidence of that with things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts, because short form video is easier to produce because you just need your cell phone. You don't need to really edit, and you don't need a lighting kit, etc. Right? So with that said, with it becoming easier to create content and easier to become a creator, I think it will the current challenges of how to make a full-time living will remain, right? How do you maximize the earnings that you do from doing what you love? And I think, not to, promote ourselves too much, but I think that's a specific role that a company like ours will play, right? We are always going to help the creators make a full-time living doing what they love, right? The running joke that we have at our company is we help aspiring creators basically do what they love. So quit their day job to pursue this full time, or maybe even drop out of school to pursue this full time. And I think that's only going to continue in the future. Also, with the emergence of new technology and new platforms, some people talked about VR and AR earlier. Well, there's also going to be also Web3 and metaverse and blockchain related platforms. With these new platforms, it's going to be, new opportunities for creators to monetize from their content, but it also will provide more challenges on how to also do that on these new platforms. So it's going to be very exciting. The future of content creation, the next couple of years, I think we're going to see a lot of change, maybe even more change than we saw in the last 10 years, right? And so the next couple of years, I think, will be a really interesting one.
Thank you, Eugene. And to add to everyone has said, I think I personally am very excited for our content creators on what you guys will do next, because you guys are just, like Pokemons evolving and evolving until you reach that final form. And I'm very excited on what content you guys will release. And with that, that concludes our discussion for Philippine Startup Week. And before we go for the winners of our raffle draw, viewers, are you still here? Send out heart reactions, wow reactions, thumbs up reactions. The winners of our raffle draw will be announced right now in our chat box. Please check that out. And if you can't check that out because, a lot of people have been sending out reactions, check out the Philippine Startup Week Facebook page and Collab Philippines Facebook page. All right, thank you. Before we leave, panelists, Meryl told me to take a picture. So please, let's take a picture. I'm going to count to three and you guys do whatever pose that you want. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. Okay, Meryl, I hope you got that. Everyone just did the peace sign. Thank you so much. And to everyone viewing this live stream, we would love to know your feedback. The feedback form is being distributed in the chat box as we speak. And that's all the time we have. Thank you so much, panelists. Thank you so much, influencers. And most especially, thank you so much, Philippine Startup Week, for featuring Collab Asia in your roster. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.